Hello guys, today I am going to share with you how to draw this sculpture using Freehand Bspline in the curve workbench. So this is how it looks in FreeCad. So if you like this design and you also want to practice using the Freehand Bspline, you can follow my tutorial. So thank you. Okay, so to start, I click and draw the image into FreeCad. In the G view, I double click on the image and click on calibrate, and I click from the top and to the bottom, and I set it to 200, enter. Now I click OK. I go up to view, toggle the axis cross to show the arrow. Now I click on the image, I right click and I go to transform, and the rotation increment as set it to 90 degree, and I rotate it facing to the front view because I want to model it in the front view. And I also set the translation increment to a small number, this one, and then I move this one back a little bit. Now I go to the front view, and I want to move the image so that this point matches the center of the scene. Now I move the image up. All right, click OK. In this tutorial, I will use the Freehand Bspline to create this curve over here, this curve over here, and this curve up here. And in this corner right here, I will use the blank curve in the surface workbench. And after that, I will create another Freehand Bspline, connect this point, and then this point together to create the middle curve. I go to the curve workbench. And just click on the Freehand Bspline to create a new Freehand Bspline. And you can see in default, the Freehand Bspline starts from the center of the scene. And we have two more points to control the Freehand Bspline. So in this case, I will click on the right point, all right? Click on the right point and move it up like this, all right? And you click on the middle point. Make sure you don't click on the line, right? You click on the point, and then make sure you are in the front view. You click on this point and you move it to the middle. And you click and hold in here. Click and hold and hit A to insert a new point. Click and hold, insert a new point, hit A. And you click on this point and you move it to the left, hit S to constrain it on the x-axis, somewhere around here. Click on this point and move it to the right, hit S. And up here, I zoom close here. I click and hold on this line and I hit A. And I click on this point, move it to the left, hit S. All right. Now I okay with that. I hit Q to confirm that. All right. Now I want to create this curve over here. But you can see this curve is connected with this curve on the left. So before I create the Freehand Bspline, I zoom close here. And I click on this point to select it. And I create another Freehand Bspline. Click on this one. And the new Freehand Bspline with this point connect with this line. Okay. And I click on the right point and move this point up. But in this case, I don't put this point up here, and I put this point down here a little bit, because in this area I will use the plane curve. I click on the middle point and I move it to the middle, and I click and hold in here and I hit I. Click and hold in here and hit I, and I click on this point, move it to the right, hit S. All right, hit Q to confirm that. Now we'll create a new freehand display. Just click on it, and now I click on the left point and I move this point up in here. I click on the middle point and move it in the middle, and I click on the last point and move it in here. I zoom close here and put this point around here. Then I click and hold and I hit I. Click and hold, hit I. Click on this point, move it to the left, hit S. Click on this point, move it down a little bit. Click on this point, move it to the right, hit S. Now I hit Q to confirm that. Now I go to the Surface Workbench. I click on this curve and Control click on this curve. So this curve I select it first, and this curve I select it later. And then I create a plane curve. You can see a new plane curve created. So I click on the plane curve and I have two properties, the first edge and the second edge. The first edge is the upper edge that I select, the first one. Then this one is the second edge. So you can see the plane curve is not what I want. I want the plane curve to connect from this point to this point. So what I'm going to do is I go to the start parameter. Instead of 0, I set it to 1. You can see the plane curve jump into this point. Doing the same in the property down here, I change the end parameter to 1. Now the plane curve is over here. Now I change the start continuity to 1 and end continuity to 1, means G1. And I change the start size to, let's see, 6. You can see this one go outside. And the end size so to 6. You can see 6 go inside, so I change it to -6. Maybe -7. And this one is 7. All right. Now I will create a middle curve. I go back to the curve workbench and Control click on this point, and then this point, and create a freehand display. Now I click and hold on this line and I hit I, and I click on this point, move it to the left, hit S. Click on this point, hit I, and move it to the left, hit S, and then hit Q to confirm that. And double click on it again, and click on this point, move this one up, hit Z. All right. Now I click and hold on this line again, over here, and I hit I. Click and hold, hit I. Click on this point, move it to the right, hit S. Click on this point, move it to the left, hit S. Sometimes the point keep following your cursor, and you just place it in the position that you want and hit Q to confirm that. Okay, something like this. Zoom up here and double click on it again, and also hit I to insert a new point and move this one down a little bit. See, hit Q to confirm that. Now go to this angle. I double click on this Freehand Bspline and click on this point and move it out. Hit Y. You can strand it on the Y axis, somewhere around here. You can see the green arrow is the Y axis. Now click on the middle point and move it out a little bit. Hit Y. And I hit Q to confirm that. Now go to the right view. And I double click on this one again. And I click on this point. Sometimes it's hard to select in the point. You just rotate the view a little bit and click on this point and move it to the left, hit Y. And you go back to the right view and you click on this point. Click on it, click on this point and move it to the left, hit Y. This area down here, you can select the point or the line is okay. So I just select the line and move it out a little bit, hit Y. And click on this point, move it to the left, hit Y. In here, I also want to move this one out a little bit, Y. Okay, just align so that the height of this arc up here, the highest point of this arc up here is the same with this one. Just align that. And you click on this point and move it out, hit Y. Somewhere around here. And you zoom close here. So you can see the freehand Bspline just go outside of the vertical line. You can see the curve should not go outside of this line. So I just make sure I hit I, click on this one, hit I, and close here. You can see also click on this one, hit I. You can see this curve is now not outside of this line, all right? This is very important because if this one go outside a little bit, it will be hard to create the base in the future. Check in again, okay? Now I hit Q to confirm that. Now go to the front view. If I zoom close here, I think I should select in this curve over here, the first one, and double click on it, and I move this one out a little bit. Hit S, move this one out a little bit. Hit Q to confirm that. And also select in this one, double click on it, and also maybe click and hold, hit I, and move this one to the right a little bit, hit S, just a little bit, hit Q to confirm that. All right. Okay, so I come to the right view and double check again. Now I go to the Prod Workbench. In the Prod Workbench, I select in this this Freehand Bspline over here, this one, and I will rename this one to the right curve. The reason I rename this one because I want to use this one to cut the bit one in here. So after I cut that, the right curve will disappear. So I rename it to know what it is, so that I will show it. I can just select this one and this one. I go to Prod and Split and Slide Prod. Now you can see in the folder in here we have two slides, and I drop this one down, drop this one down and I click on the right curve and then show it. Now it's time to fill the surface. I go to the surface workbench and click on the filling tool and just click on this one and this one and this one. And a new surface is created. Now click OK and I click on the surface and I hit spacebar to hide it. And the next surface I will use the golden surface. Now I go to the curve workbench. In the curve workbench, I will before I create golden surface, I want to create another Freehand Bspline to control the curve of the golden surface. So go to the front view and click on this curve and create a new Freehand Bspline. And I go to the right view and I click and hold and hit I and click on the middle point, move it to the left, hit Y. And I hit Q to confirm that. Next, I click on this one, Control, click on this one and zoom close here. Click on this plane curve over here and Control, click on this one and golden surface. All right. Now I click on the surface and I show it. And I click on this surface and this golden surface and I create parametric solid. Now in the viewport, I hit Shift B and select everything and hit spacebar to hide everything. And I come down here and click on the new solid, hit spacebar to show it. All right. Now I go to the product workbench. In the product workbench, I want to extract this Y. So I go to the shape builder, create a shape builder, click on it, and click on the Y from edge. All right, and then you control, click on this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and hit create, hit close. In the T view, a new Y created. But I want to make a copy of this Y and flat the new copy out. So, and then I will use the loft tool to loft them together. So I click on the Y and go to the drag workbench. In the drag workbench, let's see, I will hide the grid and I click on the Y and create a new clone. All right. In the new clone, I click on it and go to the placement, the position. I just want to move this one back a little bit in the Y axis. So I type in here 1 to put this one out a little bit, you can see, right? And I want to flat that out so that I will scale it in the Y axis, meaning the green one to 0. So go down here in the scale and I set the scale Y to 0. All right. Now I want to loft between this Y and this Y. So I go to the product workbench. In the product workbench, I click on the loft tool and I click on the Y and the Y001 and click OK. All right. Now I click and drop down the loft and I click on the Y and the clone and I hit spacebar to hide it. Now I go to the surface workbench to fill the bottom face. So I go to the surface workbench and I click on the filling tool and I just click and fill. Make sure you select in sequence. Click OK. Now again, I go to the curve workbench and hit Shift B to select everything and create parametric solid. All right. Okay, so next I select the solid and go to the view and change the point deviation down to 0.01. Okay, now we just finished modeling the sculpture using the Freehand Bspline in FreeCad. Alright, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial.